Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at more relationship stories. Yeah, let's just get right into the video. I am being pressured by my family to apologize for my daughter scratching her uncle, but I refuse. How do I deal with this? Recently, mine and my husband's families had a big get together at our home. We have an 18-year-old daughter who was excited because she would get to see her cousins, Sarah and Amy, who she loves. At the party, her cousins arrived and my daughter ran over and gave them each a hug. Their dad, John, who's my husband's brother, laughed and asked my daughter, "Where's my hug?" She didn't hug him. People kind of laughed it off and the moment passed. She and her cousins went off together and I went to the kitchen to prepare food, thinking nothing insidious had happened. No more than 15 minutes later, I heard my daughter yelling in obvious distress and I dropped everything to rush out to the garden. There, I found John with a red mark on his face. My daughter was holding hands with Sarah. John went inside to get ice for his face, while Amy told me what happened. It turns out that John had approached her and continued asking my daughter for a hug. The girls told him to leave her alone because she didn't want to, and he'd continued trying to get my daughter to hug him. At that moment, he actually got her in his arms and she scratched his face. After comforting my daughter, I confronted John, who did nothing but say she scratched me. By this point, everyone heard what happened, including my husband, who was furious. To our disgust, people defended John and demanded our daughter say sorry for scratching him. I said trying to force something on my daughter had been the reason for all this in the first place, so I wouldn't be making her say anything. Most people left afterwards. Family are blasting us for not making her apologize, but I think his very concerning behavior is where the focus should be. What can I do to navigate this situation? It's a lot, and I'm a little blindsided. Girl, you know what happened. Seriously. It's a big sign if even his own daughters aren't even on his side. That's icky, seriously. Grown men who can't even respect another girl's space? Red flag. Seriously, red flag. If someone doesn't want to hug you, then they don't want to hug you. Like, piss off. And there's probably a reason why she doesn't want to hug him. So honestly, I'd be talking to the daughter. Like, did anything happen? You can tell me, right? Because there's no way she hugs everyone, but she doesn't hug him. Something is going on. Oh, jeez. I freaking hate family like this. Like, why are they all on John's side? He was literally forcing a girl to hug him, and then he got what he deserved. It's like trying to force a dog to hug you when they're obviously in distress and then they bite you and you're gonna blame the dog for biting you. Hate those kind of people, seriously. My boyfriend that I recently started dating since 5 months would go on our first trip together, but he wants to travel first class while I fly economy. I think this is very self-centered and probably indicative of decisions he will make in the future. I met my boyfriend at work and we're both high earners. For perspective, I currently make about $350K and he makes double and has considerable savings due to his age. Damn. I will have reached his salary and his level once I'm at his age, but really I'm just starting making money now after many years in school. Anyways, after dating a bit, I've noticed that he always wants to split everything. Like if he pays for dinner, he'll tell me to pay for the next one, or he'll text and be like, "I'll drive, you get us dinner," which honestly to me is pretty disproportionate. Oh, that's crazy. I hate it when someone tells me to do something beforehand. Like, I'll be fine with it if we're at dinner already and then he's like, "Oh, I drove, can you pay for this one?" I'd be like, "Sure." But it's the fact that he's like, "I'm gonna drive, so you pay for dinner." You know, it's really the way that you word things. We just don't like how it makes us feel, right? It's just like when you're about to do something and then someone tells you to do it, you don't really feel like doing it anymore because I was gonna do it anyways. But then now that you're telling me to do it, it feels like I'm only doing it because you're telling me to do it when I would have done it anyways. You know? Ugh. Also, we've talked about buying a house together, and despite his considerable advantage in accumulated wealth, he wants to split everything 50-50. Like, he was sending me suggestions of very expensive houses to buy, and I strictly told him I cannot afford splitting that with him. And then he was like, "Fine, in that case we can do something cheaper." Like, I mean, if he wants to move into a nicer place at first, why can't he pitch in more? At some point, he was even like, "Okay, if you can't afford a house right now, I can buy something and then you can be my tenant and pay me rent. I mean, I'll gladly pay, but this is a bit too much." Wait, don't they only know each other for like a couple months? I mean, aren't they only dating for a couple months? Why are they already buying a house together? That's weird. We all know if you rush into something like this, it's always going to end badly. Recently, we started planning our first travel and he's refusing to travel anything else but first class, even though he told me that he never traveled first class when he was my age. I personally will not travel first class. I've just started making money and it feels so unnecessary. I asked him to sit with me in economy. I mean, it's our first travel and he's been traveling a fair bit on his own for pleasure, already always first class. But he strictly refuses to sit in economy with me during our first trip and says that I can pay for my first class ticket if I want to sit with him. No offer of paying for my first class portion at all. Damn, why can't he just sit with her in economy? Dude, they don't love each other. Honestly, they do not like each other. He does not like her, I feel like. It feels like he's just seeing her as like a partner that will split everything with him. Right? It doesn't feel like he actually likes her. If I was with someone that I actually really liked and really loved, I wouldn't care sitting anywhere with them. Like, we could be sitting in the toilet together and I'd be happy, you know? Like, what the hell? When talking about our combined finances as a couple, he wants to have a common account where we both contribute equally on a monthly basis and then pay for shared expenses from that account. Once again, this is a bit unfair to me considering the age and wage gap. When discussing pregnancy, he was like, fine, during the time you're in late pregnancy and have a hard time working, you don't have to contribute to a common expenses account. Once again, this comes off as pretty callous and stingy. For reference, he recently also stated that he's a generous guy. Pfft, nothing generous about him if he's splitting everything so equally. 50-50, 50-50, 50-50. What the hell is wrong with him? Girl, you should run. Because nobody does this 5 months after dating each other. You know? Come on, let's buy a house together. We split 50-50. Let's make a joint account together, 50-50. 5 months after dating, you guys are not even married. You guys are not even living together yet. Why are you making a joint account? That's weird. And then he's like, once you're about to give birth, yeah, then you don't have to pay. But during the whole pregnancy, you do. Girl. What the hell? This is why it's so freaking unfair, you know? Men don't know the pain of carrying a kid. And it's so easy for them to say, yeah, I want 5 kids. They wouldn't be wanting 5 kids if they were the one booting them out, you know? Honestly. Sounds like a freaking nightmare to be with, honestly. You do something and he's like, oh no, 50-50, 50-50. Oh, shit. Shit, dude. I would hate that so much. Whew. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!